What's up, everybody? This is Brian and welcome to more Low, Less Talk. All right, we're going to start the rear suspension. It's a whole bunch of crap that you're never even going to see, but we're going to make the factory rear suspension even better. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do all of the things that I wanted to do, but I did fabricate some link bars and installed those. So this is going to be part one of the rear suspension. All right, first things first, we got to get these wheels off so I can better explain what's going on and what we're going to be doing here with the rear suspension. So let's get this going. All right, so now I got the wheels off. Let's take a look at what we have going on. Okay, so this right here is the lower link. We got a bolt here, I got a bolt under here, and this is kind of going to be the easy one. Basically, I'm going to make an aftermarket bar that's way stronger, but that's basically bolts into the same places and is also the same length. Now the tricky part to this whole thing is going to be this upper link. So you can see I put a C-notch in this already. Turns out I didn't even need to do that, but that's another discussion for another day. Don't get ahead of yourselves. But anyway, this link right here, you can see it bolts here and it bolts here. Now this is significantly shorter than this arm here, and at regular ride height, the pinion angle is where we want it to be, but with an adjustable suspension, when this axle comes up, the pinion angle drops down like that because of the unequal length arms here. So what I am going to do is lengthen this. Once I get in here, I'll be able to tell exactly what I need to do, but I think for now what we're going to do is the easy part. We're just going to yank these out and put some aftermarket ones in here, and it's going to look a whole lot better and it's going to be a whole lot stronger. So let's get to that. Okay, so as we can see, we've got the factory lower control arm, and here is my aftermarket one. Now, as I understand it, pretty much we're just going to measure center to center here. I think this needs to be extended about halfway out, and then we're going to chop this arm so that this center of this equals center of this, and the center of this equals the center of this and center of this. So that's what we're going to do now. Now that I've got at least one of these out, I can go ahead and cut both of the aftermarket ones. I'll worry about pulling this other one out once I get done. All right, the other thing we have to consider is the measurement of the width of this and the width of this. And you have to account for it with the bushings, because obviously once you put the bushings on here, that's going to widen it quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to measure the threads here. Just the thread, looks like I got 2 1/4. If I go all the way to the end right here, it's 2 1/2. So I'm going to say 2 1/2. That'll be easier to measure. And then, so I'm going to want it at 1 1/4. I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go, y'all, so hopefully this is the right way or a good way at least. So now this tape is going to make it very difficult for it to screw in any farther. It also gives me a good visual of where the halfway point is. Now, I've already measured from here to here is 20 inches. So I need to chop this down to where I have from here to here is 20 inches. This thing just cut at a crazy angle. Doesn't really matter because I'm going to be doing a lot of work here, but I'm going to have to remember that for next time if I ever use this thing for any kind of straight cuts. I'm going to have to pay more attention. That was crazy. Okay, so from the center of here to the end of this is 20 inches. And so now what I need to do is chop this little circle out. Hopefully we can see that okay. I need to make a little half circle there. They make special tools for this, but I'm just going to do it by hand. I learned a little trick to do this from a YouTube channel called Garage Fab. Guy's name is Aaron. They call him Man Candy. He kind of teaches you a whole lot of things about all this fabrication stuff, and he kind of goes over how to cut this by hand the first time without the actual tool, and then he makes a pattern, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a pattern from it so I can reproduce this on all the rest of the arms. Okay, so you can see we're getting there. This mouth is a little too narrow, so I just need to come in and I'm going to use the flap disc, open this up a little bit and see what we're looking like when I get down there. Okay, so when we zoom right on this thing, we can see we're definitely almost there. But what I notice, once I have this spaced up right, I got a 1/4 inch here and an 1/8 inch here. That has to do with the distance, the width difference here and the width difference here. So that's why I space it weird. But anyway, but you can see we got a decent gap there. When I flip it around, okay, now we can see it's touching in some places. So what that means is basically when I was cutting it up here on the vise, I kind of had it a little, this piece was a little crooked in there. So I am going to draw on this side using this as my template, or using this as my guide, and hopefully I'll be able to get this pretty perfect. All right, I think this is about as good as I'm going to be able to get it by hand with my skill level anyway, but it's pretty darn good. And we flip this around. Pretty darn good again. So I think, we're going to have to bevel this so that we can make room for weld, but I think this is good enough now to make a pattern off of. So we're going to make this pattern real quick, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to start with a length of tape that I know will wrap around this bar. Come on, let go. I'll do another one that I know. It's the same length. All right, now both of these ends are sticky. I actually like one end being sticky, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to stick that end on.
Wrap it around like that. I don't need this whole thing, so as long as it wraps around, I'm good.
All right, now, when we're looking in here, the tape is barely to the end of that. On the other side, it's the same thing. All right. Now all I'm going to do is just kind of roll my finger over the edge. I'm not dragging it, I'm rolling it. If we drag it, we might move the tape. Now because we did it the way we did it, this thing slides off. Okay, now we can untape it. And now we can see we have our curve here. And we're just going to do a little bit of construction work here. And we'll just confirm. Oh, you see there, I need to get that little bit. Okay, so that's what we've got. So now we'll be able to slide this. Let's just say this is the end of the tube. We'll be able to slide this around the next tube, lock it down, and then we can trace that line. And that will get us way farther ahead on all the next cuts than we were on this one. So that's going to be it for now. So right now I'm going to go ahead and bevel these edges, get it prepped for welding. 1/2 inch bolt to me. On the wrong side here. Oh shit, it's perfect. All right, time to pull the lower arm off on this side. I've already done the other side. It was a fight, and I'm expecting no different. So, by the way, let's give a shout out to our favorite YouTube channel, huh? Virginia is for Lowriders. Crawford is the name on that channel, and he, as far as fabrication and stuff is concerned, he's probably the single biggest influence on helping me get this car going. You know, he's got all these awesome videos, like build progress videos of how he built this this Mazda pickup truck. I mean, he just built the whole back half of the frame and body dropped it, and he chronicles everything on the YouTube channel. And the biggest thing to help me out, getting me motivated on this car, is he also did a Caprice. I think it's an 80s, some 87-ish Caprice. And he body dropped that, and he shows it all right there on his channel. Anyway, great big motivation for me to get this thing going. I just want to give him a shout out. And you know, guys, if you have a favorite YouTube channel and they sell merch, that's the way to support them, man. Get some merch from them, and that'll keep them going. So anyway, I kind of think I'm stalling a little bit because I don't want to do this. This is such a pain in the butt. But anyway, these old cars, man, you got these old rusted bolts, and you got to get them off. There's, you know, got no choice. So we're gonna get it going. Oh, that one went according to plan, like exactly. The other side would have done that. Oh crap. This side was a piece of cake compared to the other side. show you what I'm talking about. So this bolt right here seems to be rusted to this piece, and this is kind of a little bit of what I ran into before, but also before, the nut that goes right here, I had to torch it, get it really hot, and it worked. I guess it burns the rust or something, and it was holding it on. So anyway, I'm gonna put an impact on this and see if I can break this bolt loose. Voila! So, nice little stamped piece of engineering here. You know, it does the job, but what I got now is better, stronger. Also, it's adjustable. Okay, so before I get to installing these lower arms, I'm just going to hit the inside where they install. You know, there's kind of rusty under there. I'm going to hit them with this, just sand it a little bit, and then I'm also going to hit it with some rust converter, which I don't have it here right here with me, but anyway, I'm going to spray that in there, and I don't know, just to kind of help the longevity a little bit. So here's what I'm going to use, metal prep and rust remover. This is by Eastwood. I just put it in this bottle because it's easier to spray. I have a bunch of these bottles because I do detailing and stuff. So I got a bunch of these bottles, and I really prefer these over the one that they give you. So. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for 30 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, out with the old, in with the new hotness. Obviously, this is going to be stronger. And the other great thing is this one's adjustable. So this is great for alignment and stuff like that. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna have to wrap this one up for this video. I've only got so much time in the week to work on this, and this, you know, since I had never done these arms before and stuff like that, it was kind of a lot of figuring out on my own and stuff like that. I don't have anybody here to teach me, so I'm just kind of going off of what I've learned on YouTube and a little bit of maybe, common sense. So I just did the best that I could. At any rate, so I'll go ahead and break it down what we're doing next video. Okay, so here is our control arm. Paint's not cured right there. I just touched it up. Anyway, this is our lower control arm. This is our upper one. Okay, and we're going to lengthen that upper one to get as close to the length of the bottom one as we can. Because what that will do is that will keep our pinion way back there. That'll keep our pinion angle where we want it. So, but before I can do that, the problem is the pinion is going to hit. Let's get it in here. All right. So, our pinion, drive shaft, everything is going to hit the floor. All right. So not only the floor of the body of the car, but up here, we're also going to hit like that part up there is part of the frame. Where those brake cables are, that's actually part of the frame. And we're going to have to cut a hole through the floor of the car because we need to make room for the drive shaft anyway. And that will gain access to this part of the frame of the car. And I'm going to need to make accommodations for this pinion. I've kind of got it all figured out in my head. Anyway, before I can even lengthen this upper arm, I need to make accommodations, or at least clear the way, put the upper arm in, and then rebuild that frame to where it's basically an arch that goes over the pinion and over the drive shaft. Because right now, as it sits, whenever the axle comes up, the pinion angle dips down like that, and it misses all of that stuff. It misses the body of the car and stuff. But that's going to be all in the way when I lengthen this arm. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope it was informative. You're kind of, watching me learn as I go. So I'm not an expert at any of this stuff. I hope I'm not being too boring or too frustrating for some of you guys that maybe has done this before. But I don't know, I think it's important to kind of chronicle even when I'm doing something wrong, so people out there, other people out there will know it's okay to make some mistakes as long as you can get it fixed. You got to figure it out, man. So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, if you like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.